Court is calling 2025 CR 0123226 State versus Austin Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced? And also 2025 CR 0123229. And for the defense?
Good morning, Judge Alfonso Cabañas for the defendant, Austin Rodriguez.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so did he enter a plea only on the unlawful possession?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cases to BTA.
Okay. So according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State is opposed to the application, and they will take in consideration 2025 CR 0123226. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and TAP evaluation? Any objections?
We have, Your Honor, there's no objections from defense counsel on the PSI or the TAP evaluation.
All right, state you're opposed. Any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Judge, my client would like something to say to the court, but as far as any additional witnesses, none. Judge, Mr. Rodriguez, you know why you're here this morning, correct? We're asking the court to grant your application for probation, is that right? Yes, sir. Now, the court knows and you are aware that you previously have been given deferred adjudication, correct? Yes, sir. And those two deferreds had been revoked. Yes, sir. Please tell the court, Mr. Rodriguez, why this time your application and your desire to be in probation is different.
A long time ago. I didn't understand two things that I do now, and that's that time is short. Two of the most important people in my life passed away. One very recently. In the audience right now is my mother and my sister. My mom doesn't depend on me so much, but she really needs my help. I had a lot of momentum going before I came here. I don't want to lose that momentum. I'm willing to take any number of years of probation, keep me out there, on the for so I can keep momentum that I have going. Because I'm 36 years old. I'm not getting any younger. The people that truly care about me are starting to fall off. And I know that I messed up twice some years ago. But it's like every year it's a little faster. And I don't have so much time to live with them. I'd like to do it out there.
Mr. Rodriguez, in reviewing the PSI, you are aware that should the court grant your application for probation, probation has recommended you do several outpatient treatment programs. Right, and it's my understanding that you've agreed to do those programs?
Absolutely.
Okay. You also asked the court that you'd be open to living on probation, a lengthy probation. You are aware that the maximum term that the judge could impose for probation is 10 years. Okay. And finally, also to make you aware that if court were to grant your application, any violation, however slight, would, make you place you under arrest and then bring you here for
Absolutely.
okay. You could be sentenced to prison. Okay. Now, as far as helping your mother and your sister who are here, tell the court a little bit more about why they need your help specifically.
So one of the people that passed away recently was my mom's son. She stayed at home with my sister. She's autistic and epileptic. She has mentality of maybe a 5-year-old. She's there by herself sometimes. When I was there, it was a lot different. Actually, right before I came here, it was New Year's Eve. Somebody set a firework off in the backyard, off the yard front. And when I went downstairs to get some water, since we're looking out the window and all the smoke, just oblivious to what was really going on, had I not been there, would have been for the fire. Stuff like that scares me every day. There's a lot on my mother. She does a lot. I can't explain. I'm sure my time.
That is your mom's residence where you would reside should the court grant your application?
Probably not. I will be there frequently to check up on them, make sure everything is okay. I think my sister, there's no room for me there, but, I wouldn't be for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, but you already have a place to stay?
Yes.
Okay. In addition to your mom and your sister, is there anybody else who depends on you? Or any other family members that depend on you?
As dependent, no, but, as family, sure.
All right, state.
Yes, I have very brief. I'm Florida, because my name is Lorna Espinoza, I'm a prosecutor for the state. You stated you probably would not reside with your mother, will you be living alone?
No,
No, who will you be living with?
my girlfriend.
Are there children in that home?
No.
Okay, are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing?
I operate machinery for the charity owns and operates the tractor,
How long have you been doing that?
since 2018, so.
And you're aware that you're here because of choices you made?
Absolutely.
Given that we're here, you chose to operate that motor vehicle on the opposite side.
We might find this.
Yeah, so you know that's a violation of the law, and you made that choice, right? And when you were frisked by the officers, they felt a lump in your pocket, correct? And it turned out to be suspected drugs, right? And then they located a firearm in the center console. Whose firearm is that?
I mean, it was given to me by the guy who owns the scrapyard, but, I don't know who owns it.
Okay, you didn't think that was suspicious, you didn't know who the owner was, but you chose to possess the firearm, you know?
If you neglected to tell me after pushing him to know, which I didn't, maybe, but, no, I didn't.
Did you ever become aware that the firearm was stolen?
No, I didn't become aware of the firearm belonged to, somebody who had gotten in trouble for a bunch of firearm. This was later on after I'd already got.
No further questions.
All right, and when you were revoked the first time for a possession case, do you remember why you were revoked?
28, and I didn't really care what was going on. That was whenever I lost the first person that I cared about. Just negligence, was young and dumb.
No, I mean, what allegations? Well, usually when they revoke you, they'll say, we're revoking you because you didn't report, because you're testing positive or something.
I was so lost in this Australian house.
All right, and then you had so that was a possession case, and an unauthorized use case. I'm assuming since they have the same dates that those will probably ran concurrently. All right, and then in 2021, you had the evading arrest detention with a vehicle. All right, so on that one, I'm assuming there was no probation, you were just sentenced.
That one I did because I had literally 2 weeks left of parole. I just freaked out. I go to court for it.
All right, so this is what I'm going to tell you. I've been a defense attorney. Sometimes I'll see things, police pulling somebody over just because they don't have a license plate or a traffic offense. Like officers are allowed to pull people over, right? Even if they're just pulling you over because they want to see other things, right? But the issue with you is they pull you over for no license plate in the front. Then it turns out you're driving without a license. Then you have a gun in the vehicle, and then you have drugs. Those are my issues. I just don't think you're a good candidate for probation. I understand the other issues you have that you're saying that's going on in your life, but I just don't think you would be a good candidate. So I'm going to find you guilty. What I can tell you is, well, before I say this, let me hear the parties argue for amount of time.
Mr. Rodriguez has already done a trip for 3 years, he did 9 months in Stateville in 2 years. It seems that those amounts are not enough to prevent and deter Mr. Rodriguez from continuing on his choices in this course of action. So we just have to.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, I would ask for the minimum of 2 years in TDC. It's evident from his testimony that Mr. Rodriguez has admitted guilt to this offense. He is taking responsibility. He also let the court know through answering to the state's questions that he made a poor choice that evening. He didn't minimize it or he didn't withdraw from responsibility. He did say that he made a poor choice and obviously he's regretting it because he knows that his time with family gets shorter and shorter as the years go by. I have talked to his girlfriend. I do have, and I can confirm, and also the PSI, that he does have very much family support. And so I don't think that once he gets out of prison, I don't believe that he'll fall or make poor choices anymore. I think he's obviously learned his lesson. So I'm asking the court to sentence him to 2 years in TVC.
All right, this court is going to do, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money will run concurrent. Take in consideration 2025 CR 012326. I'll give you credit for any time served. I'll recommend the therapeutic community. I don't have jurisdiction to place you in that program, but it will show on the judgment that I'm requesting that you be placed in the therapeutic community. You'll have to request it as well. There's to be no residing in households with minors, and the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. And of course, give you the,
Can I ask one more thing?
sure.
If you were to be able to reconsider my probation, and I said that I would willing to take the max if I messed up even more, so you reconsider.
No, and I will tell you, I won't be the judge who would be deciding that if you were to mess up. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you,
Judge.
counsel. All right,
What unfolded in the 187th District Court on April 2nd, 2026, was one of the most textbook examples of a judge doing exactly what a judge is supposed to do, and doing it without flinching. Austin Rodriguez stood before the bench with 2 prior deferred adjudications on his record, both revoked. A new arrest brought him back, pulled over for no license plate, no driver's license, drugs in his pocket, and a firearm in the center console he claimed not to know the history of. His attorney put him on the stand. Rodriguez spoke from the heart about his mother, his autistic sister, a New Year's Eve scare with a firework and smoke, the people who needed him home. The courtroom listened, and then the judge spoke. She went through each prior case, each revocation, each decision Rodriguez had made at every traffic stop and every turning point. And she said something that was simple and final. She didn't think he was a good candidate for probation. 4 years in prison, credit for time served, therapeutic community recommended. But what made this moment genuinely unforgettable was what happened next. After receiving the sentence, Rodriguez asked the judge to reconsider. She said no, and reminded him that if he returns, he faces prosecution as a habitual offender, with a minimum sentence of 25 years. That's the moment the weight of every decision he'd made hit the floor of that courtroom. Accountability isn't always comfortable to watch, but it matters. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.